back and forth, more from Teofimo's side. You approached your father. You told him something. What is it that you told him? Because I know he was trying to like get some antics towards you, and it didn't get to you.
No, I just told him about himself. He know what I said, but he got to stop being a clown, you know? Like, everybody not with the clown antics and things like that just because he want to sell a fight. It's cool to sell a fight, but I'm not fighting. Leave me alone. I'm retired.
You give yourself time to reflect and appreciate how well you've done so far in your career?
No, not at all. I hate myself for it, but it's part of it. It's just part of the life.
Or appreciate it as well.
I don't appreciate it. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I think that I get butchered, and I think God punishes me a lot for it. So I'm just a punching bag to that. So one day I'll get, maybe one day, but not yet.
We appreciate you, though, brother.
Not yet. These guys appreciate you too.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just never got my fair share. I never did. Not once, man.
That's the way you look at it.
Not once. But hey, that's just my journey. I guess I just never took on Baphomet, so I just gotta keep it.
Terence Crawford didn't need to speak louder to make his point. When he responded to Teofimo Lopez's earlier remarks, the message hit with authority. There was no passion-driven back and forth, no emotional push. Instead, Crawford focused on expectations and principles, making it clear he was speaking from a place of accountability rather than personal feeling.
Gotta put respect to it. To all my brothers and sisters, I love you guys. Always salute to the power that it be above. I thank you guys. I never wanted anything to harm you guys at all. So for that, my condolences to all you guys and to the slavery and everything that's ever happened mentally.
See, look, I look at it like this. It's a prime example. When life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways, and you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself it's okay. I learned from it, and I treat it like a champ every time. So if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Crawford laid it out in simple terms. Verbal sparring has always been part of the sport, but once it crosses into racial jabs and stereotypes, it stops being promotion. At that point, it's no longer about hyping a matchup. It's about revealing more about the person saying it.
Lopez apologized for slavery because of all of the disrespect and the racist comments he was given. Bud Crawford calling him a monkey, the N-word with the hard ER, etc., etc., etc. Who knew all Tio needed was an ass whooping? Well, Shakur gave him exactly.
That point carries weight because this wasn't coming from a random online critic. Bud is an elite, pound-for-pound fighter who's been through every level of the struggle and knows firsthand that what's said outside the ring has a way of coming back once the fight begins.
Defeated all of us, so you know exactly what you're doing. You tried to play that game, making them racist remarks, and I said, I'm not feeling it. I don't like when Ryan Garcia did it. I'm not understanding that type of stuff at all. I stand firm on that. Well, Terence Crawford seen this after this last match, we got dominated. Shakur Stevenson put down the strip for complete demonstration. He didn't get but one round. Terence Crawford went up. You know, they had the little situation where they was about to get into it and stuff and said, hey, they mad. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. F them. FTO, F his daddy, F his sister, and anyone else that has a problem.
And Lopez's past behavior added another layer. His repeated jabs at black fighters, challenging why networks backed them and downplaying their achievements, didn't just fade away. Those moments accumulated. You could sense that weight lingering when he finally spoke after the defeat, framing it as a moment of consequence and self-examination.
First of all, you don't joke about people trauma. Second of all, it ain't even funny. So you know why he was doing it. He was purposefully being racist. So you get what you deserve. Tio was complaining about ESPN signing black fighters. From Devin Haney to Shakur to Shushu to Keyshawn. Ironically, they all won and Tio is the only one that lost. They all won in impressive fashions, becoming champions, etc. Teofimo Lopez is the only one that lost in an embarrassing.
Regardless of how you view karma, the sport has its own method of responding to disrespect through results. Once the fight began, Shakur Stevenson made the conversation irrelevant. From the very first bell, he didn't simply beat Teofimo with skill. He beat him with intelligence. Each deceptive move set a snare, and every aggressive advance was met with a costly error.
But it was a hell of a night. T.O. he came and tried to do his best, but his best wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I thought T.O., he came, he brought it, but you were just that much better. I was so impressed by the range control, the balance, the discipline in there. How did you feel in there?
I knew since the second round it was over. I went back to my corner. I told him, I said, I'm stronger than he is. And when I seen that, it just gave me more confidence, and it was my night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you filled out really well, 140. You looked really strong in there, big. Is this your best weight class?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be at 140. I have no clue. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and sit down and scan myself. I'm gonna watch the fight, see how I like it, and
Teofimo appeared lost and irritated, constantly trailing a step behind an opponent who had already cracked the code. This had nothing to do with raw power or durability. The difference came down to rhythm, awareness, and readiness. Stevenson stripped the shine off a former title holder with quiet efficiency, never relying on showmanship, and that subtle control was the most ruthless form of superiority.
Saw how hard you trained in there. It showed in the ring, the discipline, the shape you were in. You had great cardio. Looked like you could have gone, 18 rounds.
I could have. That was easy. I actually was picking it up as it go, but T.O. he fought to not get stopped, so respect to him.
Wait, so respect for fighting to not get stopped?
I mean, he could have got stopped in there. It was almost over at a couple of times.
Isn't that more respect, maybe? If you,
I mean, he's a tough fighter.
Yeah.
He got power too, speed too.
So that cut you opened up, that was what, precision?
That was me just being the best. Hey,
So when everything is pieced together afterward, Crawford addressing the disrespect, Teofimo rethinking his direction, and Shakur putting on a technical showcase, it comes across as more than random timing. It feels like the sport operating as it always has. Say whatever you want outside the ropes, because sooner or later, the fight itself delivers the final answer.
Just what was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm as such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot. So I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin.
And right after Shakur turned the bout into a real-time lesson in precision, command, and distance, Teofimo Lopez Sr. stepped forward, sounding like someone trying to rationalize chaos after it had already settled. What stands out is how he begins by claiming everything was under control, only to immediately contradict that claim. He circles back to training sessions, to game plans, to what they practiced and what was supposed to unfold. And that's where the first flaw shows. Because when Senior says, he didn't do what I told him, what is truly admitting is that the strategy collapsed the moment it ran into Shakur's ring intelligence.
The sparring sessions were like what motivated me to this fight. That I was 100% sure we was gonna win. For some reason, the game plan, my son didn't do what I told him he was supposed to.
You can hear the irritation in his voice when he brings up tempo, about trying to prevent Shakur from settling into his comfort zone. That single idea explains the entire matchup problem. Senior then suggests that headlines, online noise, and talk of what came next may have distracted Teofimo. And that's not an unreasonable thought. But underneath it, there's a larger admission being made. This defeat wasn't rooted in physical shortcomings. It happened upstairs. When he says Teofimo's power didn't show up, it doesn't sound like fatigue or weakness. It sounds like uncertainty slowing everything down.
How you gonna fight, a fight when everybody wants you to lose? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened. It just looked like all his powers were not there. Like everything was like that we planned, everything that he did in sparring, everything that we planned to do.
And when he stresses that Teofimo wasn't beaten down and made it through all 12 rounds, that sounds more like a father guarding his son's dignity than a trainer analyzing the fight itself. What really stands out is his admission that Teofimo can be shaken mentally, because Shakur never needed to damage him early. Confusion did the job. Senior repeats the idea that everyone wanted his son to fail. But in this sport, pressure doesn't come from the crowd or the commentary. It comes from the opponent in front of you taking away every possible answer. Even the moment he points to in the 8th round, where Shakur was supposedly hurt, feels overstated, especially since Shakur regrouped almost instantly and reasserted control.
Greats have lost and they have come back and they have done great. So, we're here and we're going to stay. He's still 28 years old. He's still not in his prime and we're coming back stronger than ever. Next time, I think he's ready to go to 147.
Then the conversation shifts to 147, the familiar post-defeat refuge. A higher weight class, a fresh chapter, new challenges. But here's the truth. Changing divisions doesn't fix reaction time, focus, or in-ring intelligence. Teofimo Sr. comes across as loyal, heartfelt, protective, and sincere, but also caught in a cycle of rationalizations that sidestep the clearest fact. Shakur didn't win because Teofimo stumbled. He won because he was sharper, quicker mentally, and always 2 steps ahead before Teofimo even began processing the fight.
We hurt Shakur, I think in the 8th round, and he was hurt for about 2 rounds, and he let him come back. The whole plan was not to exchange with him. The whole plan was not to box with him. But I guess, it worked to Shakur's benefit, and congratulations to him and to his team. And we got to move to better things, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. Regroup and come back. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest fighters right now in the business. And let's see what happens,
And right after Teofimo Sr. frames the loss like a technical glitch instead of a full takeover, Tim Bradley steps in and delivers a reality check. You're still missing the terrifying part. Bradley isn't debating that Shakur won. He's pointing out how little of his potential was actually on display. That's the striking part. When he says this wasn't the complete package, it isn't promotion, it's a caution. He's viewing Stevenson the way seasoned fighters once studied young bud, as if saying, you're still loading. What's even more compelling is how he links it to confidence rather than raw power. Essentially, Bradley is saying Shakur already sees, anticipates, and counters everything, but he hasn't yet decided to fully unleash himself. And that thought alone is intimidating.
Still growing as a fighter. He's still growing as a man. He's not even at his peak yet. Let me say that again. He's not at his peak yet. The minute Shakur gets confident enough, because you heard it after when he was just like, I could have stopped him, but he started fighting back. The minute he gets confident enough, man, I'm telling you, he gonna stop.
Bradley even highlights how Shakur admitted he could have finished Teofimo early, but deliberately chose control instead. That distinction shows this wasn't a fight Teofimo simply survived. It was one Shakur carefully managed. Every time Teofimo tried to process or act, Bradley notes he was countered. Every time he attempted to unleash, he froze. At one point, Bradley bluntly says Teofimo fought like an amateur, not because he forgot the craft, but because his mind was overloaded. That's next-level boxing intelligence. Then Bradley drops the comparison that hits hardest, Terence Crawford. Not in terms of raw power or aggression, but in that moment when Crawford stops solving and decides to finish the lesson early. That's a trajectory Bradley sees for Shakur, not there yet, but approaching. And that's the critical contrast with Teofimo Sr.'s analysis. Sr. is focused on what went wrong and the plans that failed. Bradley is pointing to inevitability. One is reviewing the past, the other is predicting the future. If Bradley's read is correct, the Shakur Stevenson we just watched wasn't even peak, just a glimpse of what's coming. And that is far from reassuring for anyone else in the division.
Shakur turned Teofimo Lopez into an amateur fighter. Didn't even leave first gear. This is not the best Shakur Stevenson. I'm telling you guys. I said this after the Cepeda fight. When Shakur put it all together, I'm going to tell y'all when he puts it all together. When he put it all together, I promise you, it's going to be crazy. Y'all going to be like, oh my God. Yeah. Shakur Stevenson, Terence Crawford. I didn't have to be in the